Hi. So, music is bad, right? Like, we can all agree that music kinda sucks. I've seen a growing number of shitposts and memes over the last few years saying that all music is bad. Mostly, I think, is an ironic statement that reflects the fact that taste in music is entirely subjective. Now, I genuinely think all music is bad, and simultaneously, I think that all music is good because that's the point of art, right? It's subjective. Art cannot intrinsically be good or bad. Now, because of this, I'm also of the opinion that arguing about music online is completely pointless. Like, what are you gonna do? Tell someone their favorite album sucks, and then they're gonna go, "Whoa, dude, you know what? You're right. My eyes have been opened. This is a revelation. I guess I'll just become a Weezer fan like you." Now, I feel like I had to add this disclaimer because as someone who thinks that taste in music is entirely subjective, and as someone who also makes mediocre music themselves, I think it's totally acceptable to lightheartedly make fun of bands and musical artists because all artists are cringe in one way or another. But Instagram Reels is a whole different level of cringe.
January 8, to the ones who just lost their homes, or maybe even loved ones. Through the loss you'll find your way, hope will bring a brighter day.
See what I mean? Now, in all reality, the cringe is not exclusive to Reels. We all know about the effect that TikTok has had on the music industry, and that the TikTokification of music has led to artists having to try and promote themselves in a social media landscape that basically requires them to be cringe so that they can capture your teeny tiny little pea-sized attention spans in the 2 seconds that their content shows up on your feed, lest you scroll past it for the next few minutes of brain rot. And while TikTok is absolutely responsible for this formula, I think, like most things involving TikTok, Instagram Reels has just made it much worse. Which is why you get the video we just saw. You know what, let's run that one back one more time.
January 8, to the ones who just lost their homes, or maybe even loved ones. Through the loss you'll find your way, hope will bring a brighter day.
Close enough. Welcome back, David Guetta.
So this record is in honor of George Floyd. So shout out to his family.
I gotta know what the rest of this guy's profile is like. Man, he sure does ask a lot of questions. Do you want to know what can make today the best day ever? Do you know what makes a fresh start powerful? Do you know what can light up the whole day? Do you know what can turn anxiety into strength? Oh, well, I've struggled with anxiety my entire life. This'll be great. I'd love to know what can turn anxiety into strength.
You know what can turn anxiety into strength? Your mindset.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man, I'll remember that the next time my anxiety is preventing me from asking for no tomatoes on my burger. So that's this guy's whole deal. His spin on the gotta catch your attention really quick thing is positivity. So we'll ask one of his do you know, do you want to know, are you stuck questions, answer it with some toxic positivity, and then just start jamming.
You know what can make today limitless? Flow like water and rise like the view.
Like, what does that even mean? It's the exact same thing as those hustle grind set bros giving off buzzwordy bullshit life advice that doesn't actually mean anything. There's literally no difference. Did you know that in order to start one's journey, one must simply begin? But you know, maybe it's not such a bad thing for kids to have a positive artist like him to look up to. Otherwise, who knows? They could end up getting addicted to the Nick by the age 15.
Addicted to the Nick by the age 15. Next I met weed right around 16. At age 17, met my dear friend Lean. Then at 18, found the acid scene. Whoa, whoa.
I once got detention when I was 12.
Alright, I've got to do the comments on this one. Yo shit fire, but it sounds fake, dog, but you doing really good shit with your reels for real. What do you mean it sounds fake? It's really hard to encapsulate why something is fake because it's just a off the top feeling of the vibe, but from the heart, so I don't know, bro. I don't know, you just sounds fake, bro. Like, just does, black and white. Damn, sounds like this guy must really know what he's talking about in order to give critiques like this. Oh, look, he's an artist too. Let's see how his music sounds. It's gotta be way better than this guy by the way he's talking.
Had a thought that you were done with me.
Yanni, you made this?
Yeah, I know I missed some calls. You've been telling me you were too involved. You've been telling me, hey, yeah, I know I missed some calls. You've been telling me I'm too involved. I've been waiting all night, be happening. Yeah, I know I missed some calls, B. You were telling me I'm too involved, B. I've been waiting up all night, B. Hoping money had a long love, B. Hey, B.
Yeah, you know what, maybe we should go back to the artists who only write positive, uplifting music.
What happens when an artist who writes only positive, uplifting music finally lets his anger loose?
Oh no. Is it over? Ooh, that was crazy, man. I hope I never have to see what happens when an artist who only writes uplifting, positive music finally lets their anger loose ever again. The funniest thing about that is that after looking through his recent material, I can say with confidence that this guy does not only write positive, uplifting music. As a matter of fact, his recent promotions seem to be giving off an emo alternative vibe, which is very confusing to me because his overall brand is definitely not that. Like, he's using the "it's not a blank, it's a lifestyle" phrase that's well known in the emo nostalgia community, and he's singing about shadows and vampires, but my guy, in what universe would an alternative person be wearing that shirt? Like, if you can't even properly pander to the demographic you're looking for, then you gotta know that it's just not gonna work.
I asked an AI to write a new metal song, but I only trained it on Goosebumps books.
No, you didn't.
What happens when you were raised on a combination of Linkin Park and horror movies, but only the Disney Channel ones?
I would love to know what happens.
These are the monsters I create. Can I eliminate them all in time? We go back to the struggles I created myself. Just like a dog back to his vomit, he just can't help himself.
Oh yeah. That's the stuff. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys are sitting here going, Thomas, this has all gotta be satire, there's no way these guys are being serious, and trust me, you wouldn't be the first ones to think that. Matter of fact, the reel that inspired me to make this video in the first place, when I first saw it, I was absolutely convinced it was satire.
My old house was filled with insects, but in the new house we light up incense. I can't live my life in depth, so I make my interest. Oh, I give and I get, shawty gives and she gets. Girl, let me be your source. She chills through pores. Back then, I wish I knew more.
Tell me if that popped up in your Instagram algorithm that you wouldn't immediately think it's a joke, but it's not. I think it's usually pretty easy to tell when people are purposefully making bad or rage-baity content to get views for many reasons. But doing even the slightest deep dive into the profiles of any of the artists I've been talking about leads me to believe that they're all being completely genuine. Like the guy I just showed you, let's take a look at another one of his tracks real quick.
Brand new palace, brand new chalice. She a bad bitch, she a bad bitch. Hey baby girl, I'm living this life.
Him and the featured artist on that track, they're signed to an independent label. They seem to be promoting their shit regularly with complete seriousness, and they even have a song together featuring an Afro man. This is not satire. And that other dude, Mark Wahlberg, finally letting his anger loose, he posted a reel heavily implying that he wanted to be a rock star when he was younger, but then life kind of got in the way, he got married, and making this music on reels is his way of still kind of pursuing that dream. But that's why I also didn't include the names of any of the artists in this video. They're just people trying to chase their dreams, and while I don't necessarily think that they should be bullied or receive a ton of hate for what they're doing, I think if you're legitimately trying to make a career out of this type of thing, you have to be able to take a step back and look at things objectively. I'm getting the feeling that all of these guys are trying to do it for real, and any negative comments they receive, they just kind of brush off as people being haters, when I've actually seen a decent amount of constructive criticism in their comments. People saying things like, hey man, this song's pretty decent, but maybe the lyrics could use some work. Or things like that, only for the artist to turn around and respond and then be like, oh, you're just being a hater, you're trying to destroy my dreams. Sure, you should never let random comments on the internet stop you from pursuing your dreams, but when your comments section regularly ratios your likes and all of those comments are overwhelmingly negative, it's not an all press is good press type situation. Now, I'm not saying you have to necessarily quit making music just because TurdBurglar69 on Instagram said you suck, but there's always room to grow and improve in art. And if the vast majority of people are telling you that something is just straight up not good, maybe that's something to improve upon. Because all of the artists I've shown today,
I've been waiting up all night, be hoping money had a long love, be.
okay, maybe not all of them, but most of them did have something going for them. Whether it was that they were actually decent singers, or that maybe the instrumentals were pretty good even if the lyrics weren't, or they mixed the song themselves and the mix came out pretty decent. A lot of them had at least one thing that showed some potential. But with today's post-TikTok landscape, a lot of musical artists have to do everything themselves. The music, the lyrics, the music videos, the promotion. If you're a solo artist, it's virtually impossible to do all those things yourself, let alone do them all well. So, I mean, I'm not exactly surprised that they all have to resort to doing, did I just make the song of the summer 6 billion times? And to be honest, it's not like I have any idea how to fix it. I'm just a dumbass with a YouTube channel who makes music that no one listens to anyway. I think for now, this type of content is here to stay, and changing that would involve restructuring the entire music industry, which, let's be honest, is not going to happen anytime soon. But on the plus side, at least that means we get plenty of cringe content for the foreseeable future. Okay guys, I think that's it for today. Shout out to the new subs I got after I posted my last video. We're in the double digits now, so that's pretty cool. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're not subscribed, then you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, throw me a like if you please, and I'll see you guys next time.
I created myself, just like a dog back to his vomit. He just can't help himself.